Thanks so much for jumping on my channel and joining me here for our lovely New Year to Love You challenge. If you're brand new here, know that you can start from today and you can just make your way through, or you could go back from the beginning and start afresh. Whatever works best for you is always okay with me. Now, today is our lovely Work It Out Wednesday. I've got a fabulous barre class, standing Pilates, whatever you want to call it. It goes slow, but that does not mean we are not going to work out. In fact, I feel like our upper body is going to get a lovely treat of some wonderful extra, keep those arms working and shaking, along the way today. So roll out your mat and let's get started. All right, let's start on our mat, and feet can be about hip distance apart. Hands can be on your hips. You could have them hanging off to the side, whatever you need. We are going to do some balance work, so if you want to be near a wall or have a chair or a countertop near you, always great. But otherwise, let's just bend our knees a little bit and shake out the hips. Who cares what we look like? Who cares what we feel like? And then I want you to roll your hips around. Again, sometimes just the simplest moves are the best. Opposite direction, roll those hips in the other way. Put a big smile on your face. Feel a little silly. Maybe you want to shake your tushy even more. And then from here, I want you to pick up your knee and circle your knee around one side and then the other side. Or you could just stick on one side. That's okay. When I do this, I imagine a little string picking up my knee and plopping it off to the side, picking it up, plopping it off to the side. And then for a lot of us, this feels real strange. We're going to reverse that, so my knee's going to go out to in. Out to in. Good to kind of move those ball and socket joints around. Just, saying hello. Doing something nice for our body. And then from here, set your feet back down, bring your hands to your hips, and actually, I lied, bring your hand to your stomach and to your back. Do we feel like we're kind of dumping forward? Can we begin to pull our belly button in? Belly button. Can we begin to lengthen through our spine? And I want you to put a soft bend in your knees. Now, normally for me, when I have that soft bend in my knee, I can much easier keep my tummy muscles turned on. I have a habit of dumping forward, of really arching through my low back. And with that soft bend, it's much easier to lengthen, to pull that navel in. With hands on your hips, now, all I want you to do is pick up your right heel and set the right heel down. Pick up the left heel and set the left heel down. Now, obviously, there is a little bit of balance work going on here as we do this, but you should also feel maybe a little stretch to the bottom of the foot. That can feel kind of nice. And notice as you lift and lower each heel, are you really letting yourself kind of rock and sway to side, or are we keeping those tummy muscles engaged, our head high, our shoulders broad, and just trying to keep our weight so even? Now, obviously, we're human. We're probably going to shift a little from side to side, but I want those belly muscles holding you in place, keeping you as centered as possible. Now, next time I lift my right heel up, I'm going to keep it, and I kind of want to circle around my ankle, other direction, and it might feel a little funny. That's okay. And then set the heel down, same thing, other side, lift it up, a little circle, both directions. Bring it down. Now from here, bend the knees just a little bit more, pull the belly button up in it, and reach your fingertips nice and far away. Imagine there are two tables here. Press down onto those two tables. Broaden across the chest. Draw the ribs in a little bit more. Take a big inhale. Keep that feeling of pressing down into your imaginary table, but slide the fingertips across the table, thumbs towards one another, and then slide them right back. So nothing big, nothing crazy. It's just a very gentle, very easy reach of the hands forward and then reaching them back. And now I could just do this without thinking about my arms at all, like letting them be floppy, and it really doesn't feel like anything. But it's that feeling, it's that image of activating the arms by pressing down into that imaginary table and drawing them towards one another, and just as active, sending them back out. Once or twice more, just like this, just beginning to wake up those arm muscles. You're doing great. Now, the next time that we reach our fingertips out, we're going to hold there And I want you to rotate the palms so they're up towards the sky. Notice what that did to your upper body. Did you kind of splay through the ribs or arch through the low back? Can we center ourselves again? Can we pull the belly button in? Can you pull your shoulder blades together, but at the same time actively reach your fingertips away? This rotation happens underneath your armpit. Big inhale. Exhale, now pull the pinkies towards one another, reaching them forward. Inhale, send them right back. Exhale, pull the pinkies towards one another. Inhale, send them right back. 3 more times, out and in at your own pace. No hurry, no rush. 2 more, and it's still that active stretch and reach. It shouldn't be easy. Last time, reach the hands out, pause. Now from here, drop a little lower into your knees, pull that navel in, and lift up your right heel. If we need to put a hand on a wall, on a chair for balance, that's okay. I want you to keep your hands in place. Imagine you're holding something heavy. Maybe you've got 2 trays full of your favorite beverage, and we don't want to drop or spill it. Take a big inhale. See if you can just lift your knee up and then touch your toe back down. Exhale, lift your knee up. Inhale, touch your toe back down. Each time you pick up that knee, cinch the waist a little bit more. Wonderful. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. Last one, lift, drop it down, and bring the foot back underneath you. Take a moment, center yourself. Rock to your right side, pick up your left heel. Big inhale, exhale, pick up the knee, drop it down. Pick up the knee, touch your toes back down to the ground. Exhale, tone the tummy, lower down. 3 more, up, sink it down. 2 more, up, all the way down. Last one, set both feet back on the ground and slowly stand tall and straight. Now I want us to turn off to a little first position, or heels together, toes apart. Zip up your inner thighs, roll those shoulders back, stand tall, stand straight, keep the hands in place. Don't let them fall down. Are they getting a little tired? I hope so. Take a big inhale. Exhale, tone the tummy, squeeze the thought, and then 5 little plies. All we're going to do is a little bend, and then seal the inner thighs together, tone the tummy, squeeze the thought. Inhale, little bend. Exhale, pull it back up. 3 more, little bend. Reach yourself all the way up. 2 more, little bend, reach it up. Last one, little bend and pause. Low belly in, low back long. Lift your head up so high, soften those shoulders down. Keep carrying your very heavy tray full of your favorite beverage. And then from here, big breath. Pick up your right heel, set it down. Pick up your left heel, set it down. Back and forth. Now, do you notice my hips are trying to stay so even? I might bob a little bit. I might sway side to side, but I'm certainly not letting my hips kind of kerplunk side to side as I lift and lower. Now, of course, if you sway a little more than I do, that's okay. Last set. And after you even yourself out, press both heels down, drop a little lower into your plie, tone the tummy, squeeze the thigh, big inhale. Exhale, pull the hands together. Inhale, swim them back. Exhale, pull them together. Inhale, reach them back. 3 more, pull them together. Send them right back out. 2 more, in. Reach them right back out. Last one, in. Reach them out, pause. This time, flip your palms so they're facing towards me, or away from your body. Reach those fingertips out. Take a big inhale. As you exhale, straighten your legs and pull your hands together. Squeeze your thigh. Inhale, plie. Open your hands off side to side. Straighten the legs. Seal those inner thighs together. Bring the hands in and then reach them right back out. Slow and steady, my friends. This is not a great big fast movement, but taking it at an easy pace that we can feel all those muscles engage and really work. 3 more times. You got this. 2 more. Last one. Stand tall, stand straight. Take those hands towards one another. Actually touch your palms together. Did you let your shoulders cave in? Kiss the shoulder blades in. Stand tall, stand straight. This time, plie and take your hands high, pressing those hands in, and then reach them back forward. Bend the knees, reach them down, and then all the way up. It's like your sitting bones are reaching down towards your heels, your fingertips up to the sky. Bring it right back down. 2 more right here. Send it down. Last one, take your plie, reach your fingertips up, pause, fingertips high, low belly in, shoulders down, big breath. Flip your palms and find those imaginary tables again. Take one more inhale here. Exhale, sink a little lower. If we can, we're going to lift both heels up and keep our plie. So we're coming to a little forced arch. Big breath. Exhale, both heels lift. Inhale, both heels drop. Exhale, both heels lift. Inhale, both heels drop. Beautiful. 3 more little lift. Slowly set it down. 2 more little lift. Slowly drop it down. You got it. Last one, little lift. Pause. Lift those heels higher. Cinch the belly. Reach your fingertips further away. Take a big inhale. Exhale, little drop. Inhale, little lift. Exhale, little drop. Inhale, little lift. 3 more little drop. Send yourself up. 2 more little drop. Send yourself up. Last one, little drop. Pause. Take a breath. Set the heels down. Don't drop the arms. Keep them in place. Stand tall, stand straight. Pivot your toes so they're facing towards me. Lightly bend your knee. All I want us to do is rock our weight into our left side. Press down onto your imaginary table and lift up your right knee. If we wiggle wobbled, that's okay. If we need a soft bend in the knee to keep ourselves upright, that's okay. Remember that feeling of our little string kind of pulling our knee up? I want you to keep that in mind. Press down onto your table, broaden across your chest. Touch your toe down to the ground. Exhale, that string pulls your knee straight up. Inhale down. Exhale, lift it straight up. As we're doing this, whether or not your supporting leg is straight or lightly bent to keep from hyperextending out, I do want you to grow longer through the left side. It's like I'm pulling your left ear up, and that whole left side is so long. If this is enough, just keep lightly lifting and lowering that knee. If we want to take it up a notch, we are going to open our knee off to the side on a count of 3 and 2 and 1. Close it in. 3 and 2 and 1. Open out. 3 and 2, 1. Close it in. 3 and 2 and 1. Last time out. 3 and 2, 1. Last time in. 3 and 2 and 1. Set it down. Take a minute. Stand tall, stand straight. Lightly bend your knees. Rock your weight into your right foot. Pick up your left heel. Can we stand tall and straight, pulling that knee up? Maybe this time our hands stay here. Maybe we want to flip them up so we can turn on a few different muscles. Inhale, toe touches down. Exhale, trim the tummy lift. Inhale down, exhale, squeeze the thud lift. I'm still holding on to now your right ear. You're lifting long. You've got such a long, beautiful spine. You look lovely. Inhale down, exhale, lift. Inhale down, exhale, lift. Beautiful. Now remember, if that was enough for us to simply lift and lower the leg right here, that's great. If we want to try those little bounces to open up, you can. So we go 3 and 2, 1. Close. 3 and 2, 1. Open. 3 and 2, 1. Close. 3 and 2, 1. You got it. 3 and 2, 1. Close. 3 and 2, 1. Last time. Open. 3 and 2, 1. Last time. Close. 3 and 2, 1. Set it down. Bend both knees, pull that belly button up and in, take those hands forward, palms facing up if they aren't already. Touch your pinkies together, roll the shoulders back. I'm gonna turn this way so you can see me just a little bit better. Big, deep inhale. Exhale, float the hands up to about eye sight. Ooh, are they burning? I hope so. I just like to point out that we don't have to have weights to have a great big upper body workout. Now, all I want you to do is keep those shoulders down. Think of lifting your chest up between your arms. Maybe sit a little lower. Take a big inhale. Exhale, press the palms up. Inhale, drop them down. Exhale, press the palms up. Inhale, drop them down. 3 more little press up. Inhale, lower down. 2 more little press up. Inhale, soften down. Last one, little press up, pause, sit a little deeper, seal those inner thighs together, tone the tummy like your belt got 1 notch tighter, little pulses of our hands up for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, pause. Shoulders down, chest lifts, lower down, again, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, pause. One more time, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold. Take a great big breath. Relax. Oh my goodness, that was a lot on the upper body, yes? All right, well, we're going to end with some stretching, so don't you worry. Go ahead, come on down to your mat and just take a nice easy seat. Whether you're on your knees like I am or you want to be in more of a cross seat is totally fine, but let your hands hang heavy for a moment, and I want you to actively press the shoulders down and very lightly tuck the chin into the chest. Not that we're like dipping it all the way down or even getting like a double chin, but enough of a dip down that you can think about lengthening through the cervical spine, the very top of your neck. So I'm pressing down into my thighs, and if I would be in an easy seat, I would do the same thing, like a cross-leg seat. I'm lifting up and out of my waist. Take a big inhale. Roll your right ear to right shoulder. Press the left shoulder down to the ground. Lift the left ear up. Take a big inhale. Roll your chin back to chest. Same thing, other side. Now my right shoulder is trying to press down. My right ear is lifting up. Bring it back. Bring your gaze upright. Again, you can be in whatever seat feels best, but take your hands behind your head, clasp them together, and open your elbows wide. Now, I don't want you to let those elbows kind of curl up. In fact, I want you to try and press them towards the wall behind you. Sit taller, sit straighter. And again, very light tuck of the chin to chest just so we can lengthen through the spine. Take a big inhale and a small twist to the right. I'm trying to almost look at my right elbow, but that elbow's reaching so far back I can barely see it. Bring yourself back. Same thing, other side. Little twist. Bring it back. And then relax. We're going to come to a tiny tabletop. We won't be here too long. Find that tabletop, broaden across the chest, pull the low belly in, and I want you to lightly cat and cow. And then maybe roll the head and the hips. Both directions. And then this might be too much for some of us, but that's okay. I'm going to take my knees nice and wide for a child's pose, and I want you to actively reach your fingertips away and set your forehead on the ground. Almost imagine someone, maybe me, is lightly pressing down into your sacrum, that bony plate at the base of your spine. And it's like your hips, your sacrum are trying to almost smoosh down closer to your heels while you reach the fingertips further away. Now, even though we're getting a great big lateral stretch here, and at first, if it feels nice to let your shoulders rise up because it just feels so good on the sides of your body, that's fine. But eventually, I want you to soften the elbows down a little bit and soften the shoulders down. Can you take your fingertips together and clasp them? And especially after a lot of arm work, this feels really good in my triceps. But I let my forehead hit the mat. I hold on to my hands, and then I try and bend my elbows and touch my fist to the back of my neck.
Now at first, I don't get a huge stretch here. You might, and that's okay. But if you're like me and you need something a little deeper to get into those triceps, if this feels really wonky, you might want to look up. But I kind of crawl my elbows further and further and further away from me. And then again, it's like someone is holding onto my hips, my sacrum, and presses those back while I press my elbows into the mat. And I get, a great big stretch underneath my arms. And again, if it was enough without the little funny crawl of your elbows, that's okay. Now, I could stay here for a while, and if you're happy to, you absolutely can, but eventually you can unfold your hands, maybe very awkwardly like I just did, and then I want us to bring our forearms onto the mat and point your fingertips forward. Now, do you see when we're right here, and if this is not a comfy pose for you, it's okay, we're not going to be here forever, but I'm not letting my wrist kind of lift up, nor am I rocking to the edge of my pinkies. I want you to be mindful of that as we lift up into our dolphin pose, and if dolphin is too big, you can go to downward facing dog. But a lot of times if I see someone get into dolphin, there are a couple of things I see. I see them rock to their pinkies, I see their wrists lift up, or their elbows poke off to the side. We want to keep from your middle finger down to your elbow all in one line, so not letting it move over to the side. So I am actively pressing into the mat. It's almost like I'm trying to grip it with my palms, and then I take my legs behind me, and maybe this is enough for us here. Even this can be kind of like a nice upper body stretch, just staying in our child's pose, lightly rocking back. But if you want that downward, or dolphin pose, you'll tuck your toes like you would for a downward facing dog and lift up. Now feel free to keep those knees nice and bent. Or maybe we straighten, and depending on your body, maybe you walk in. But rather than thinking about the hips and the low back right here, instead what I want you to focus on, which is why, again, feel free to put a big bend in your knees, it's more about trying to shift your sternum, your chest, through the arms, lightly pressing your chest almost towards your thighs behind you or towards the back edge of the mat. Now, if you can straighten the legs, that's wonderful, but don't feel like you have to. Do what works best for your body. And I will admit, even though the hips usually sway, gets into my hamstrings a little bit, when I sway my hips right here while I'm really focused on pressing my sternum back, I get a little bit of an extra stretch in those shoulders. No hurry, no rush. Come to center when you're ready. Big inhale. Drop the knees down one more time. This time, child's pose once more with our knees together so we can round through the spine and maybe reach for your heels. Let yourself sink and settle. Think about almost parting the shoulder blades behind the body, letting your shoulders roll forward to the mat. You can stay there a little longer, or last little bit, we'll lie on our back, and who doesn't love that? And take a moment and let's imprint the spine. So remember, that means to press the small of the back down, to broaden across the chest. Now press firmly into your left foot on the floor while you cross your right leg over. Now figure 4 right here can be enough, but take a minute and especially take your left hand to the back of your left hip. Did your left hip kind of move away? Are you falling over? I want you to make sure that left hip stays in place. Keep your left hand on the left hip and maybe bring the leg up. Again, if we lifted up here or if we curled our table up, you're just not going to get as deep of a stretch as we would if our spine stayed in place. If your spine is staying in place and you want to thread your hands underneath your leg, that's great. Maybe pulling it in a little bit more. For me, I actively flex both of my feet so I'm protecting my ankle. A lot of times I see people point their toes and then they kind of sickle or inwardly rotate their ankle, and that can put a lot of pressure on that spot that doesn't, it doesn't need it. We want to be kind and gentle to our bodies. Now you can play with extending the leg, straightening it. Now maybe if we purposefully rock side to side, that's okay. Or even kind of circle the leg around here, even in your figure 4. You can always explore things. It doesn't have to look exactly the same as me. It doesn't have to look exactly the same side to side or even day by day. Set that foot on the ground when you're ready. Unravel.
Now, firmly stomp into your right foot, imprint the spine, shoulders broad, and then cross the left over. Again, I immediately flex my foot. I didn't point because sometimes it'll kind of scooch over and then I'll, put a lot of pressure in that very delicate joint. And then take your right hand to your right hip. Is your right hip lifting up? Are you already kind of tucking the tail? Keep that spine so even, so steady, and then maybe lift up. Maybe we want to thread underneath. No, you can close your eyes, or you can keep them open. Stretching often, I like to close my eyes and just enjoy what it feels like rather than worrying about what I look like. It's one of the beauty of doing things at home. Hopefully you don't have like a big mirror in front of you that you're worried about what you look like. Instead, it's really about finding what feels good in the body and noticing how you can make small little changes to make your body feel better, feel stronger, feel more flexible, rather than what we look like. It's not about that. When you feel ready, unravel. Do you want to keep your knees planted into the floor, open them off to the side, knock them in, or extend them long? It doesn't matter. But take a moment and be proud of your body. Be so impressed with however much of class you did today. Already begin to give yourself a mental pat on the back. And then when you feel ready, we can roll to one side, push ourselves up to a seat, and give ourselves a real pat on the back, thanking yourself for jumping on your mat today, for continuing on our 30-day New Year to Love You challenge. And I certainly hope to see you soon.